Hello and good day, my fellow Dreamaholics. How are you? It is great to have you back. Again, just to let everybody know, a Dreamaholic is somebody who's completely dedicated to making their passions and dreams become a tangible reality. Welcome back. Today I got a real powerful subject with you, and you're really going to want to tune in all the way to the end of this, and you're probably going to want to get multiple listens of this lesson today, because what we're talking about today is one of the biggest ingredients in success. Like period, like one of the biggest ingredients in success, okay? And what is that ingredient? Chicka, 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 chicka. Bam, faith. Faith. Oh my God, faith is extremely important when it comes to going after what you want. Now, one of the things about faith, first of all, what is faith? Faith is the substance of things hoped for, evidence of which not yet seen, right? Now, I'm just going to give you an example of something. And by the way, guys, when I'm talking about faith, this is not meant in a quote-unquote religious context unless that works for you. Okay, if that works for you, great. If it doesn't, okay. At the end of the day, it's the principle. Just like gravity, just like polarity, just like the law of attraction, faith is a bona fide force. And it makes a big difference in terms of you actually achieving the things that you want at the highest possible levels. Okay, so I remember, I'll just give you an example of something. One day I was invited to speak at my mom's church, right? And I asked this question of the congregation. I said, how many of you in this auditorium would consider yourselves to be people of faith? Let me see you by show of hands. I see all the hands go up. Oh, yes, I'm a person of faith. Yes, I'm a person of faith. You know what I mean? And I said, okay, I'm going to ask you the question again. But I really want you to think about the response. I really want you to think about this before you respond. I'm going to ask it again. How many of you, and you who are watching this, consider yourself to be people of faith? Regardless of the land, regardless of the label, regardless to anything like that, how many people would say that, how many of you would say that you are people of faith? And of course, you're getting, yeah, of course, yes, we believe, alhamdulillah, and people, falling out, speaking in tongues, all that kind of good stuff. I'm like, okay, great. Now, I'm going to ask you another question. How many of you are on a job or in a career that you really don't like, and there's something else in your spirit you should be doing, and you want to be doing it, but you're not because it's not practical, not good timing, it's not whatever? Can I see by a show of hands? Now, about 80% of the hands went up. So 20% of the people in that congregation were saying that, yes, I am doing what I'm meant to do. I'm doing what I'm called to do. I'm doing what I love. I'm passionate about what I do. 80% of the people you were listening, and if you're in this 80%, please listen. And if you're part of the 20%, listen even deeper, because I got something for you. So the truth is that most people are not doing what they were called to do. They're not doing what their true passion is. They're not doing that which God put in their heart. And when I say calling, let's be clear. If you get inspired to do something, like you get an idea that comes to you, a brainwave, and you're like, and you get all excited about it. You're enthusiastic about it. It's something where when you think about it, you can't even sleep at night. And when you're thinking about doing this thing, it's like, man, somebody got to pull you away. You're just like, just give me 1 more minute, man. Just give me 2 more minutes. I'll be right there. I'll be right there. Right? And so that thing that lights you up on the inside, when you're doing it, you're just like, oh my God, I'm just like, yes, this is it. I love this. I love this. I believe that inspiration is an instruction from our Creator to do something. And so that instruction that you got, that's when you get enthusiastic about it. The word enthusiastic comes from the Greek word entheos, which means in God. Right? So when you're in that spirit, you're energized, you're excited, you're fired up, you're pumped up, you can't wait to get at it. Now, this doesn't mean that you can have a calling or a passion there are some days when you don't feel like doing it, because from day to day, you know what I mean? Sometimes you get caught up in the day-to-day doldrums of that thing, right? And I'll just give you an example with myself being a trainer and a coach. Touching lives, transforming lives, seeing people get lit up, to me, it's like, oh, it is like one of the greatest feelings ever. Having somebody come into one of my classrooms, you know what I mean, whether it's online or in person, and they didn't believe they could do something, they didn't think that they could do something, they didn't feel that it was possible to do that thing, and then they come through, they go through the process, they have this internal transformation, and then inside of 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 1 year, things are completely changing in their life, and they're functioning on a whole different level, and I'm getting the messages from them, oh my God, my life changed, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. When you're getting that, that's juicy, right? But even sometimes you get numb to it. So like I'll be helping people in the class, training them, because I just expect the results going to be there for them, because I'm not new to this. I've been doing this for a minute. You know what I mean? And so I expect that when I work with them, they're going to get a result. So after a while, you kind of get numb to it. We're saying, okay, well, that's awesome. But internally, you kind of get numb to it. So for the people who are on the 20% side, who are doing it, but sometimes we can get numb to it, and you know what I mean? And then we start kind of losing that spark and that energy, because you start forgetting why you started doing it in the first place. You start forgetting, you know what I'm saying? So whichever side of the spectrum that you're on, this message today is for you. So now, when it comes to the people who are not doing what they are called to do, right? And this is the thing that I had said to the people who were in the church that day. I said, hey, look, and no, I'm not a pastor. I know my mom is like, yes, you are. Yes, you are. No, I'm not, Mom. Love you. I'm a coach, trainer, speaker. I'll leave that domain to the people who are in that domain. I'm just a servant of God, trying to do my best to try to help move humanity forward. That's it. Question for all of you who are not doing the thing that you're calling, the thing that's your passion. If Oprah or Mr. Wonderful Kevin O'Leary or some other magnate, a business person with serious resources, came to you and says, you know what? I believe in you. I believe in that thing that you have in your heart. I'm going to back you up. I'm going to come in with all of my resources, and I'm going to see to it that I help you to succeed. I'm going to come up with so you can. I just want you to focus on what God put in your heart for you to do. And here's the money. Here are the resources to make it happen. How many of you would be like, I'm in, let's go. Yeah, baby, let's go. How many people would do that? And of course, the hands went up. Yes, oh my God. And I said, interesting. It's easy to say yes to that business magnate, whoever it may be, because you already see the private jet. You see that they've got billions of dollars. You know that they've got all the money in the world to be able to help you to get there. That doesn't require any faith. That's an exact. You know that already because of what the resources that they have are, right? Faith is the substance of things hoped for, not yet seen. So that means that, as I'm standing up here in this room, I want you to imagine, okay, do me a favor, stand up wherever you are. Stand up. Now, if you're driving, take a minute, But if you're standing up and take your foot. Now, I'm on one leg now. I'm on one leg, right? And faith is, I don't see a ground. I don't see the floor. But I'm going to put my foot down anyway, trusting that there is going to be something to support my foot when I get there. Okay? You know what I mean? So, when it comes to life and looking at, hey, I want to go for this thing, but man, The money. Whoo, buddy. Ah. Whoo, yeah. Ha. I do it, but I don't got the money. I do it, but the time these days, I'm so busy. You just don't understand. I got a bunch of things going on. My life's busy. Right? Or, man, I do it, but I don't know I don't have any contacts. I don't know the right people. I don't know the right thing. How can I possibly make this happen? Right? Come on, who am I talking to? But the God that gave Oprah or that other business magnate who was there to back you up, the God who gave them everything that they have, gave you an instruction, said, hey, go do this, because that inspiration you got was an instruction from him. Okay? And you're saying, gee, love you. I'm going to holler back at you when it's more convenient. I'm going to get started when it's more convenient. When the circumstances are right. You got to understand that the people that we look at and we revere for their accomplishments, it wasn't all a bed of roses when they were going through the process to become who they are today. It took time. There were ups and downs. There were challenges that they had to face. There's all kinds of stuff. Some of the stories that you're not even going to hear the true story behind what happened for them to get to the level. Because a lot of them, people don't want to share it. A lot of people don't want to be honest about it. They don't want to talk about the insecurities that they have, the times when they didn't feel that they were good enough. When they were, like an Elon Musk, who I really appreciate his honesty, because he was talking about Tesla, when he was, there was a point when it was Christmas time, and they were about to fold. They didn't have any money. They're out of money. And at the 11th hour, boom! Investors came in and turned the company around. And today he's of course looked at as a magnate and who's a huge influencer, and he's bought Twitter and he's bought all this stuff and he's done all this stuff, made billions off of Bitcoin and blah 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 blah. Right? So it's something. But there was a point in time when he was in the fight, when he was in the mix, when he was working through this stuff and doing 20-hour days and 22-hour days, sleeping in his office, that kind of stuff. You feel me? Like this, it's boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Now, he may not refer to it as faith, because I've noticed that sometimes a lot of people, as soon as they start making a lot of money, all of a sudden God ceases to be a part of the picture because they did it on themselves, because they're self-made person. Nobody. First of all, you didn't clean your own diapers, and somebody cleaned your diapers at one point and they fed you. Okay? And then even if you got ideas from watching got inspired by watching somebody's video or reading somebody's book or somebody else's content, that's somebody else that contributed to your growth and your development. And then the people who came to your rescue, came to support you, there ain't nobody self-made. We're all team-made. Okay? It's a disrespect to the people who contributed to your success. Okay, so let's get rid of that ego nonsense. We are all team-made. Okay, and if it wasn't for those support, you wouldn't be where you are. Period. You know what I mean? Like this. So God puts it in the people's spirit to go and do what they're doing. Like one example, Tony Robbins' book, Think and Grow, Awaken the Giant Within. And if Tony hadn't kept doing what he was doing, he wouldn't have written that book, and that was the first book that inspired me to do what I'm doing today. You know what I mean? And then Les Brown, as a speaker, as a coach, when it wasn't working out for him, and he was going through his challenges, where he would show up to a place and there would be nobody there to talk, and he's at a company and he's expecting to speak in front of hundreds of people, and 3 people freaking show up. You know what I mean? Like this. And, if he hadn't kept going, for me as a black person, looking at him as a black man who was a speaker at that time, that inspired me, because all I had ever seen among blacks were preachers. I never saw speakers and coaches and trainers. He was the first example that looked like me. You know what I'm saying? And so he inspired me. If he had stopped along his way, I wouldn't be where I am today. Are you getting what I'm saying? We are all a product of the environment and all the contributions of those people through time, through space and time, to help us get to where we are today. And God, had they not listened to what God put in their heart, we wouldn't be where we are today. Tony Robbins wouldn't have been who he is without Jim Rohn. You know what I mean? Like this, Bob Proctor, my late great mentor, wouldn't have been there without without his mentor. Oh my God, his name escapes me, but his first mentor. At the end of the day, all of us have somebody that we have drawn from to get that inspiration to make that move. But we were able to draw from them because they were obedient to what God put in their heart. If they were not obedient, and they did what some of you who are watching this, who are in the 80% are doing right now, procrastinating, putting it off, not taking action, and making excuses about why you're not going to do it. No disrespect, but every reason you're not doing it is a justification, because you have to rationalize why you're not doing something. You have to make yourself feel better about not taking the action. So you tell rational lies. And we feed those rational lies to our subconscious minds, which keeps us in a comatose state where we won't take the action that's required in order to manifest what God put in our hearts to do. And what's the net result? No peace internally. No peace of mind. You may be on this job and maybe you may have you're making a little bit of money for yourself, but you're not really happy. You're not at peace. You'll never have internal peace until you're doing what God called you to do. It's really that simple. It's called fulfillment. When you fulfill the call that He's put on your life, like this, that's when you get fulfilled and it feels good. And one of the things, because somebody said to me, Noel, what if the thing that I want to do that's in my heart isn't going to generate the kind of money that I want in order to create, to have the lifestyle I want to have? I said, well, there are two different ways to look at this. Number one, you can monetize anything. Anything. Somebody made millions of dollars selling pet rocks. Yeah, you didn't hear me. I said pet rocks. Go outside, grab a rock, paint it, it's a pet. Pet rocks. Somebody made millions of dollars selling pet rocks. Can you imagine people buying a rock and keeping it as a pet? You can sell anything. You can monetize anything. Somebody does a painting. This painting is worth $2 million. Now I may look at that painting and think that looks like a kid drawing. Somebody else looks at that painting and says, oh my God, look at the thought, the imagination, the power. Oh my God, that looks incredible. Oh, $3 million. It's worth whatever somebody's willing to pay for it. Are you getting what I'm saying? Art galleries is big business. In fact, a lot of people right now, because art is a real asset that people can actually have, because it appreciates in value. Over time, limited edition, one of a kind, only 3 in the world. Oh man, I just spilled my water, but I'm going to continue. Oh my God, my feet are wet, but it's all good. I'm going to keep rolling. So, can you do me a favor? Could you just grab me some water, please, and just put more inside here? The show continues. We continue. We're not going to be distracted. So, thank you. So, you can monetize anything. Anything can be monetized. Anything. Now, one of the other things to consider, the late great Bob Proctor, one thing that he had said to us, who were part of his class when I was a life success consultant with him, thank you, is he said sometimes the thing that you are passionate about, let's just say, for example, you're passionate about being a kindergarten teacher, or you are, you get your passion from working in a nursery with babies, okay? And you're not an entrepreneur, you're not interested in running a business, your passion is just being there in the nursery with those kids, playing with them, helping to mold their minds and help them get prepared for that, for the next level in their lives, right? So if that's what you really love, but there's no real quote unquote money in it, what do? Become financially literate. Learn how to invest properly, so you can make your money from another stream that allows you to still have your freedom, I guess, while you're doing the thing that you really love to do, that thing that you're called to do. There are people who are custodians, janitors, who have won the lottery and go right back to cleaning the school that they work in. Like this. Why? Because from one of the janitors, he said, I remember him, this janitor, I can't remember his name, but he had said that, I just love the idea that I get to create the clean learning environment for the next generation of leaders. But can a janitor become a millionaire? Of course. Learning how to invest properly, whether it's in real estate, whether it's in stocks, whether it's in whatever asset class it happens to be. The money that you generate doesn't have to necessarily be in the area of the passion that you are. There's other ways to create that while you can still stay in your lane and do the thing that you love to do. Does that make sense? So you can turn it into a business because you can monetize anything, or you can become financially literate and team up with friends or family. If the numbers and if the number thing isn't really your thing, then what you could do is partner up with other people, other friends, family, associates, and there's a ton of people, whether it's on YouTube, it's in your community. Go online, look at who are the people who are in the investment side of things in your region, in your area, like this, and connect with them. Come out to our financial literacy programs, the Finlit program. Come learn from us. Connect with a group of other folks. You know what I mean? Some people will be pooling resources together. Some people are going to go do it on their own. There's all types of resources that are available, is my point. There is no reason not to get into your calling. There's no reason. There's no reason not to do what God's asked of you. There's no reason. You can justify and rationalize it all you want, but at the end of the day, it's just another excuse. So the question is, are you going to actually man up or woman up and do what God has asked of you and begin that quest today? Or are you going to continue making excuses? It's up to you. It's entirely up to you. To the 20% who may have gone into that numb space, and you're like, man, I'm doing this thing, but I really want to take it to that next level, but I've hit a ceiling. This is where you need to take on further mentorship and further guidance so that you can help to get there, and also to help you take your game to that next level. Mentorship is the key. You need to get plugged in. And sometimes it also means going back to the people who've been positively impacted with what you've had to offer, and start having conversations with those people, remembering why you got into it in the beginning. Because sometimes when you start to ascend and you start to grow, you lose sight of what it was all about to begin with, and things begin to change. You know what I'm talking about. So it's something so now it's about being in that focus. And I would just tell you that for myself, as we're shooting these videos, I have been guilty of waiting for the right circumstance as well. Like, we have our project and that we're building, and it's been the timing of it has been extremely demanding. But that drum beat. If you ever seen that movie Jumanji, right? And there's that boom, 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 and the box starts to make that louder sound. Well, when God is calling you to do something, you hear that boom, 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 and it gets louder, and it gets louder, and it gets louder. And I said, you know what? I'm done with waiting for that stuff to be finished in order to do this. I'm going to make it work within the no time that I have. I'm going to carve out this time to create these videos. I'm going to carve out these time to go and do the things that are necessary in order to touch the lives that need to be touched. Period. I'm not going to make any more excuses. I'm done. You know what I mean? Like this. So I'm telling you just from personal experience. That's why I'm actually here today. You know what I mean? Like this. I'm shooting these videos now. And I made a commitment, and I've been watching some people who've been really inspiring me. So shouts out to Myron Gold. Awesome. Love your material. Love it. Awesome stuff. I find it really inspiring. And him 500. Hey, man. Big up, big respect. My boy Sherrard. You know what I mean? Getting lots of inspiration. My mastermind group that I'm a part of. Felicia and Sheldon. Hey, you know what I mean? All love. You know what I'm saying? So it's a cumulative thing that nudged me, gave me the nudge to get back into action. And so some of you, who I'll meet through the comments and through the chats, and eventually hopefully you'll come out to an event that I'm hosting, or we're at the same place and we get to shake hands and break bread and see each other in person. There's going to be somebody who's watching this. Life's going to be changed. Is it you? Is it you that's going to be like, okay, you know what? I'm done putting it off. I'm done. Today. Let's go. Today, shooting this, by the way, I was about to postpone it because I was exhausted. I had a long drive into town yesterday, had a bunch of stuff. There's a bunch of stuff to do. And I said, you know what? No, I gave my word. I made my commitment. I'm going to be there. We're going to shoot. And then I'm going to go and handle all the other stuff. Are you getting me? So, faith is the key ingredient in massive success. God isn't going to put the idea in your heart and not bring the tools together to help you manifest whatever it is that you have in your mind. It'd be kind of like you've been contracted to go build a house, but you're not being given the money or the tools in order to bring all of it together. Whether it's the architect who does the design, whether it's the guys who are coming out to clear the land, and then you've got the construction guys who are coming in, the engineers, the plumbing, the electrical, all the people that are required in order to manifest a house. God is not going to give you the idea and not back you up in it. Now, that doesn't mean that if you're following the instruction and that you're walking in faith, that you're not going to have challenges. That's not what it means. In fact, and I have to give you this warning. I got to give you this warning. As soon as you make the decision to do something, life is going to come at you. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Yeah. And different challenges are going to come in different forms to get you off track. That's the enemy's job, is to get you off track. That's Satan's job, is to get you off track. That's the devil, whoever you want to call it, in whatever form it comes in. The job is to get you off track from what God has called you to do. That is the objective. And the question is, are you going to allow that to happen? Are you going to allow it? For me, the answer is hell no. Not happening. We move forward. We create, we build, and we manifest everything that comes into the heart. Manifest it, create it, build it. And as you do that, each time as I do that, we give permission to other people who are sitting in fear, sitting on the fence, waiting for the right circumstances, waiting for the right situation to come in order to make something happen. By you taking action, you begin to free other people. It's not just about you. It's not just about you. There's a big world that's out there. There's people out there who are waiting on you to get your act together. I was waiting in my life for that Tony Robbins and that Les Brown and that Bob Proctor. I was waiting for them to show up in order so that I could get the education that I need to get on my way. I was waiting for these people. I didn't know I was waiting for them, but I was. Internally, I had a thought in my mind, I really need guidance. I need direction. I need somebody who knows what they're doing in order to help me. And then boom, some of you have been looking for direction and guidance, and boom, here I am. You feel me? You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it's something where, it's wherever it comes from, whoever it's supposed to come from, you need to get back in tune with what God has called for your life. And in the comments, let me know what your decision is. Are you going to move forward in faith? And yes, what action are you going to take starting today? Even if it's a small action, 1 push-up is better than 0. 10 is better than 1. 50, woo! You started to rock and roll, baby. You get to the 100 push-ups, now we're pushing some weight. Got me? So let us step by step, day by day. It doesn't have to, Rome was not conquered in a day. It was not conquered in a day. It takes time. But get moving, and get moving now. Hope you got massive value from this. Have a truly powerful day. Have a powerful day, and let's continue to grow together. See you on the next video. We can shine in a crowd, we never hesitate. Let us rise to the clouds.